everybody, Peppermint here, and welcome back to another episode of The Anomaly. Last episode, we got to know Ethan a little bit more, and puppies! Specifically corgi puppies, so the best puppies. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what happens this episode. We walked back to the suburbs just as the sun had started to set over the Cheyenne Mountains in the west. The sight of the orange and blue sky, coupled with the silhouetted mountains casting their great shadows over the springs, was always something to behold. There was a reason a photo I had shot of it had maintained its place as my computer background for a few straight months a while back. Here I am, 12th Street. I'll see you on Monday, Tuck. See you then, man. We each waved to each other as he began to walk down the road to his house. By the time I had reached my street, it was already dark. I plopped down in my bed and began to drift to sleep while looking back on the eventful week I just had. It'll be a few days until I'm able to see Kira again, and I neglected to ask her for her cell number before leaving school earlier. Again? You've had the opportunity to ask for her number, like, what, 4 times now, and you still haven't? Get it together, Tucker. Damn it. Looked like I'd have some time to clear my mind at least. Huh? Who the hell is texting me this early? I half-acidly. That's not a word that I use in my regular vocabulary. I half-acidly rubbed the sleep out of my eyes and turned to my bedside table to check the time, 9 a.m. I guess it wasn't too early after all. I reached over and removed my phone from its charger to see who had been texting me. The amount of illumination created by the small screen was almost too bright for my morning eyes to handle, even when the brightness of the screen had been lowered. I rubbed them again lazily for a moment before focusing on my unread texts. Hey guy, you around? On my way back from the convenience store, swinging by your place in a few. Oh, Ross is one of those people who just comes over to your house unannounced. Dude, I'm still in bed. I'll swing by later. Not even a second after sending my text, I heard a knock on my bedroom door. That would make me so mad. I groaned a little and ran a hand down my face. I had long ago given up on figuring out how exactly Ross was always able to get into my house without anyone letting him in. This wasn't the first time he had woken me up like this, and I was sure that it wouldn't be the last. Shit, too late. Hey dude, come on in. Oh, and ignore that last text. What text? Just then, Russ's phone vibrated softly in his pocket. He opened it up and read the text to himself. Still in bed? Jeez, dude, it's 9 in the morning. What are you still doing in bed? I wake up at 1 p.m. on Saturdays, and I'm not even a high school kid. Not all of us can get up before sunrise on our days off, you know. I'll still be dead to the world for another half an hour or so anyway. Well, hurry it up. I just got back from the convenience store with way too many chips and drinks for tonight. What's tonight? You know what? Never mind. I don't think I want to know. Any other time, and that'd probably be a wise choice, my friend. Tonight, however, I have something exponentially better in mind than movies involving Japanese cartoons and tentacles. Nobody needs to know about your hentai, okay? Keep your hentai fetishes to yourself. What the hell? Hold on. I can't. As we speak, I'm currently downloading the newest installment of Hydrosity on my home server. Holy hell, are you serious? But it hasn't even come out yet, not even in theaters. How did you manage to find a torrent for it this early? Are you sure it's not a fake? Do I look like the kind of guy that fall for an online scam? I have my sources, that's all I'll say. That's actually pretty impressive and awesome. Well, that's why I'm here, old buddy, old pal. I figured you could come over and hang out with my sis and I until it finishes downloading so we can all watch it together. Sounds like a plan, dude. Just let me get myself situated. I only just woke up. Yeah, I'll just wait for you out in the kitchen. Mind if I help myself? Didn't you just say that you just bought food? By the time the words had left my lips, Ross was already halfway across my house en route to the kitchen. Did Tucker say where his parents are? I feel like he did, but it seems odd that he's in high school and lives by himself, presumably. I don't know. I'll need to go back and see if he actually said where his parents are. That guy is something else. Just as I was about to head to the shower, I heard the buzzer from my phone. I quickly pulled up the text. Hey, Ross says you're coming over. You two communicate way too fast. LOL, my phone is my lifeline. I just wanted to remind him to pick up my candy for me. He always forgets. Sounds like him, alright. So you'll take care of it? Yeah, what was he supposed to get for you? Choco clusters, caramel filling if they have it, mint if not. You got it. See you soon. See you. And with that, I finally hopped in the shower. The initial blast of cold water from the shower head had been enough to get me fully roused and awake, but the relaxing heat of the hot water that followed it brought me all the way back down to my senses and filled me with the vigor necessary to tackle the day head on. That was a long sentence. I hurriedly got dressed and brushed my teeth so I could find Ross and make sure he wasn't eating me out of house and home. I found Ross sitting atop a stool at the kitchen counter nearest the window, helping himself to a more than generous serving of cereal. It can't be helped, I guess. Just then, I remembered the text Lena had sent me before I hopped in the shower. Hey, Lena just texted me. Wanted to make sure you picked up her candy. Uh, yeah, about that. Ross clumsily put his breakfast by the wayside to rummage through one of the many plastic bags he had set on the counter next to him. From the bag, he retrieved 2 bags of candy, already opened and only half full. Think she'll care? You're her brother, aren't you? You tell me. Yeah, she's gonna lose it. I'm sure she'll understand if I tell her I needed something to hold me off while I waited for your lazy ass to get ready. You mean like that cereal you're eating right now? My cereal? Well, she doesn't have to know about that now, does she? Alright, will you hurry up and finish? I'm gonna go pack up my laptop. Can do, Tuk Tuk, can do. I proceeded back to my room while Ross gorged himself on what I could only hope wasn't the last of my cereal. Luckily for me, my laptop and charger were already in my backpack from school yesterday, so I wasted little time retrieving what I needed before heading out with Ross. What a gorgeous day. The walk to Ross's house was just what I needed to re-energize myself after sleeping in for so long. Is sleeping in until 9 really considered a long time? Because I feel like a complete and utter, loser for sleeping in until 1 p.m. If it hadn't been for him, I'd have still been in bed and probably would have stayed there until nearly noon. I really was an absolute bastard of a human being. What does that make me then? Though, as nice a day out as it was, neither one of us had any intention of leaving the house. As much as I enjoyed the outdoors every now and again, the cyber world was my home, and Ross was one of the only friends I had who felt the same. I began to unpack my computer and set it up near Ross's. I set up my laptop and peripherals while Ross unpacked the goodies he had recently purchased from the convenience store earlier. I spotted a case of canned iced tea, a personal favorite between Ross, Val, and I. After setting up my things, I grabbed myself a can and kicked it back in one of Ross's spinny chairs. We spent a majority of the morning listening to Eurobeat playlists, lurking on tech forums, consuming copious amounts of junk food, and playing the occasional round of Gradient Heroes before Ross's torrent finally finished downloading at a little after noon. And it's done. Hydrosity? You know it, ready to experience the awesomeness? You don't even gotta ask, dude. I've been ready all morning. Just as Ross was about to unzip the recently downloaded file, we both turned as we heard the door to his room opening slowly, as if to avoid walking in on something unsightly and scarring, giving us both ample time to become aware of the intrusion. Knowing Ross, it was fair to assume that this was a much more likely probability than he would probably admit. Hey, you guys! Oh, hey, Lena, what are you up to? Ross had already refocused his attention back towards his computer, trying to avoid having to explain to his younger sister how he consumed most of her candy on his way home. Not a whole lot, actually. I've been bumming it since I woke up, so I figured I'd have Big Bro over here grab me some sweets while he was out. Ross had visibly cringed at the comment. He looked so uncomfortable that it was starting to make me feel a little awkward. About that. Please don't tell me you ate all of it. Nope, not all of it. In what seemed like the blink of an eye, he grabbed the half-eaten bags of candy and held them up to his sister with his signature, comical, matter-of-fact grin, as though that would make everything better. While Lena was generally exceptionally forgiving and positive towards her brother, I got the distinct impression that things were not exactly going to fly this time. Ross, it's pretty much all gone. Whoa, hey, I only had a few from each bag. Besides, I was practically starving waiting for this guy over here to crawl out of bed. Flashbacks of all the food that Ross consumed at my place this morning immediately come flooding back to me. How ironic. I found his current predicament too funny to mind the fact that he was trying to pin the blame on me. Well, I guess I can't really blame you. I'm sure I would have done the same thing in your shoes. And there it was, Lena's usual too forgiving nature. Lena really looked up to Ross, though, so it was only natural for her to forgive him without much thought. This kind of thing happened often, but it was never anything more serious than eating her candy, for example. Ross had always been a caring enough brother to not walk all over his sister as if she were completely worthless. He always looked out for her, and everyone knew it. It was just fascinating to see him wiggle his way out of trouble with her, trouble he usually brought on himself. So what are you boys doing anyway? Big Bro over here just finished torrenting the newest Hydrosity movie. We were just about to watch it. Care to join us? I don't know. Sounds a little too nerdy for my taste. I think I'll pass on that one. You're lost, kiddo. So, does that mean you two have been in here all morning long? We have, actually. The way I see it, I already got my exercise for the day, walking to the store and back. High five. High five, Ross. I live on the second floor. All the exercise I need is walking up and down the stairs when I take out the trash. I think I've earned myself a little relaxation time, if you ask me. Oh, I'm not judging. I haven't even considered leaving the house since I woke up. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Well, anyway, I'll leave you two be. Oh, by the way, did you pick up the rest of the groceries I asked for? Yeah, they're right here. Ross handed over a bag containing 2 packages of toaster pastries and a carton of OJ that he had picked up from the convenience store. Lena gently snatched the bag, noticing almost immediately that the juice had become lukewarm from being left out all morning. Did you want this in the refrigerator? Refrigerator? You're too funny. Yeah. I couldn't have facepalmed harder if I tried. At least someone found Ross's unique sense of humor somewhat humorous, even if it was his own sister. Quips and jokes that would have the rest of us groaning would somehow have her in absolute stitches. But seriously, you should probably refrigerate it so we don't get stuck drinking warm OJ for breakfast tomorrow. Can do. You two have fun. You too. You know, it actually is pretty damn hot in here. You think maybe it has something to do with the fact that we've been in the same room with little ventilation for hours with a small server rack and 2 computers all operating at once? I think that may be one of the reasons, the prime reason being simply that I'm here. Jeez, dude, you've got way too much confidence for a nerd, you know that? Oh, I'm not confident, I'm just funny. And I'm pretty sure the only one that believes that is your poor little sister. Humor is subjective, my dude. If you say so. Hey, I'm gonna crack a window open, you mind? Not at all. Go ahead. I opened the window closest to Ross's bed in order to let some fresh air circulate throughout the room. It'd still be a while before the stuffiness in the room went away, though, so I took my hoodie and draped it over my chair in the meantime. That's better. We ready to go on Hydrosity? We are, as a matter of fact. Let me just grab some food and drink and we'll be ready. Ross scooted away from his desk to reach for the bag of junk food he had bought earlier, but stopped halfway only to appear to have focused on my shoulder scar. Oh man, I keep forgetting you have that tattoo. It's almost eerie how natural it looks on you. Tattoo? I've told you a million times, it's not a tattoo. It's a scar I got when you got struck by lightning last year. I know. I've heard the story an equally considerable number of times. Drink? Wait, was I seriously struck by lightning? That's... okay. I did not expect that. Sure, thanks, man. No problem. Now sit back and enjoy. Wait, are you not gonna explain that you got struck by lightning? Because I'd really like to hear more about that. For the next 2 hours, my mind drifted away into the fictional universe of Hydrosity, written and directed by the creative genius of our time, John Biskey. Is this like a real thing, or is this just something that's only in this game? The series had become such a mainstream success as a platformer video game series that the bigwigs over in Hollywood decided to adapt it into a film trilogy. It was more than safe to say that the movies turned out to be an even greater success than the games. Ross and I, who had been avid fans of the series since the first game had been released, had made it a point to see each of the films in theaters on the night of their release. Being able to enjoy the third and final installment of the series a whole week before its cinematic debut made the experience all the more enjoyable, and I had nobody else to thank but Ross. Ross may have been a goofy dude, but on top of being genuine and fun to be around, he was as resourceful as they come. As the movie drew to a fulfilling and rewarding close, I felt a sense of dispiritedness knowing that the series was finally over. Oh well, all good things must come to an end, right? Good God, that was absolutely perfect. I know, right? They really did a great job sticking to the original story. Ain't that the truth? The same can't be said about most movie adaptations nowadays. Say, you gonna stick around for dinner? You know, I'd love to, but I really got to get home to work on a few things for school. Understandable. Have a good one, man. Thanks for coming over. I finished packing my things and waved him off with a warm smile, leaving the house through the living room door after saying goodbye to Lena. Never a dull moment with those two. But the lightning. I want to know about the lightning. I got back to my room and sat at my desk in front of my primary computer, gently setting my backpack and laptop on my bed. I spent the rest of my evening on forums and watching shows until my mind came wandering back to the topic of Kiera. The universe is inclusive, after all. It was only a matter of time before my mind had become riddled with thoughts of my life's latest enigma. I opened several tabs on my browser, each with the address to a separate social media search engine, and did a white glove search for Kiera Vinter. Come on, you have to be out there somewhere. Nothing. No hits on any image searches, social media accounts, or school records. The more I searched for any kind of information, the more I became frustrated with my lack of results. The internet was my strong suit after all, so coming up short was especially disheartening. This music is awesome. Can you hear it? It's like so good. To save myself from even more disappointment, I concluded my search. It was getting awfully late anyway, even for a weekend. Maybe I should just ask her. No, 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 I can't ask her something like that. I can just imagine how creepy that would sound from her perspective. Hey, I tried stalking you online, but you were nowhere to be found. Weird, right? I finally put the thought out of my mind and gave up. if I were Tucker, I'd just be like, hey, I want to add you on Facebook, but I couldn't find you anywhere. Do you have one? And when she'd say no, I'd be like, oh, do you just not do social media? And then she'd probably come up with some excuse or something. That's what I would do. Laying down in my bed, I thought to myself, if I wanted to get to know more about her, I guess I've got to do it the old fashioned way. Alright, guys, I gotta end this episode here. So, lots of Ross shenanigans this episode, but a few questions have come up. Getting struck by lightning. I don't know if that has anything to do with the story or if that's just, something that happened in the past. And then Kira, still weird. So, as always, I am very eager to see what happens next time. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.